Before starting the tutorial, there are some techniques I will be using which I will demonstrate now. I am going to add a subdivision surface modifier which makes the strands higher quality and easier to work with. I want a sharp bottom edge, so I am going to the sidebar and under Transform add a crease. Making a point at the top by merging the top two vertices together and adding a crease. After you're done with the position of your hair strand, let's apply that modifier and add depth since it's paper thin. I'm pressing Alt+S to scale this hair strand and give it a bump, and also closing the center seam with the knife tool. To finish this strand off, I'm going to add an auto smooth of 30 to 60 degrees. Now time to make the bangs. I am going to start off by making the same shape I made at the beginning. One mistake I always see with beginner hair makers is putting the roots directly on top of the woman head. The woman head is flat on the top, so we need to fake a forehead and make a rounded top. With bangs, you want them to start at one point at the top. A rookie mistake I see people do is add a bump to the top of the bangs which isn't needed. The bangs will naturally curve, you don't need a forced bump at the top. We also want the bangs to come out of one point so that it frames the face into a soft, rounder look. Now I am making the side pieces by mirroring the front piece I made and adjusting it. I edit the top half of the bangs so they connect, later I will merge them. I am making full bangs, so I am going to use less planes and have them disconnect lower to the bottom. If you wanted thinner bangs, you can use more planes and have them disconnect higher up. Take note at how I rotate the strands, following the circumference of the head to add more curve to my bangs. Check every angle of the head. Your bangs should not be flat, they should have a lot of curve to them. Now I am adding longer side bangs, which help frame the face a lot more. I'm giving them a very round shape, it almost makes the bangs follow a circular shape. Time to apply the modifier to finish editing the bangs, merge the edges and applying the texture. I'm using proportional editing to make slight adjustments to the strands so they are in the exact position I want. Time to apply the texture and unwrap. Unwrapping is different on planes, you have to manually unwrap them whereas curves have them automatically unwrapped. We want to keep the square shapes that curves unwrap to, so all we need to do is make the sides be straight. To do this, select the edges of a side and press S+X+0 to straighten them. Also make sure you do not put your unwrap close to the UV border, always make them smaller to stop UV bleeding. Now I am going to merge the edges of each strand together. Make sure they are all joined as one object before you do this. I am in X-ray mode to select both the vertices, press M and merge them at the center. Sometimes some strands will have more/less loops than the rest of the bangs, so I will either add or dissolve loop cuts before merging. Now I am using the knife tool to add back the top of the center edge. It's hard to see what I did here, but I added the bump to the middle of each strand using Alt+S. This part is hard to explain, but I'm messing around with the bump scale as well as auto smooth to get the look I want. This is still one-dimensional, so the back doesn't show up. Let's fix that by adding the back panels. I'm selecting both sides of each plane and pressing F to fill it in the back. We have so many verts left over, let's add some detail strands. I'm following the exact same technique I used earlier, however I am going to save on vertices by removing the middle edges and keeping it flat. Looks like we are done. Congratulations if you got to this point. Making hair with planes is hard at first, however I think it's the best way to make hairs. If this helped you, please subscribe. I will be finishing this hair off and giving tutorials showcasing everything you need to make your own. I am also a UGC creator. If you want to see the items I have made, there will be a link in the description.